Hello everyone, this is Mystic. You can call me Angel, and welcome back to my channel and my 150 script challenge. So why am I here? I'm diving into these scripts. I read scripts on a regular basis. I'm a writer and a consultant, and I'm either writing a script or reviewing someone's script or reading a script for entertainment. And I decided to take on this challenge as a part of my own personal journey and as a journey with you. I always say there's always room to build, there's always room to refine and challenge ourselves, and reading other scripts helps us as writers continue to grow and develop and, evolve as writers. So I welcome you to my challenge. And before we get started, a little housekeeping and community love. As always, I want to state out loud how much I love this community. I love the grouping that we've developed. I love the commitment all of you guys have to supporting one another and supporting the work here that I do. I appreciate every single one of you for stopping by and hanging out with me here. So if you haven't done so already, I would love it if you would just go ahead and hit that subscribe button to join the channel, get that notification bell going, and make sure you like this video. And in terms of our values here, this is a safe place for all writers and creatives. I welcome debate. I welcome different perspectives. As I say all the time, I'm not reviewing movies here. I'm not even talking about the movie. I'm reviewing the script. So there are going to be differences, perhaps. There's always things that don't make it into the film that are on the script or things that are changed. And I am giving my opinion based on an assessment, so you may not agree with me. Either way, I welcome that. I just ask that you be kind to each other, that you be respectful with each other, that you be kind to me as the person reviewing it. As we say, we may not always agree, but it's part of the fun. There's no reason for arguments. Alrighty then. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. Fasten your seatbelt and get ready for the script that we're covering this week. Today, we're gonna talk about Predator. So what I have is a 1986 draft of a script by Jim Thomas and John Thomas of The Predator. This is a sci-fi horror that came out. It's a high-octane military mission that flips into a survival story with an alien. This is one of the 1980s high-intensity horror action films that starred Arnold Schwarzenegger. So it is a cultural icon in the world of horror sci-fi, and The Predator is an IP that is still going strong today. Why did I pick this script? I picked it because it brings the two genres together where I stand, and that is that military action and the creature horror, and also that little bit of sci-fi. And as a sci-fi horror girl, it feels like it's got the best of both worlds, and I was very interested to see how they brought this together in Word. The writing built suspense. I wanted to see if that suspense was something that really came from the script and how that articulated between the word and on the screen. So spoiler alerts always. If you haven't seen The Predator, I would suggest you watch it. It is a fun film. It's a really good film to watch. But if you haven't seen it, this is going to be a read of the script, an assessment of the script, so there's spoilers all over the place. So if you don't want to get anything spoiled, I would say go watch it first and then come back and read it. I'll be putting links in the subject matter in the description for you so that you can go find scripts yourself to look at if you want to join me in this adventure moving forward. So quick story setup. We have a team of elite commandos that are sent to Central America jungle on a search and rescue mission. Pretty basic stuff. But as they go and the operation itself unfolds, they realize that they're not just hunting to solve a mystery or to get to the source of their mission. They are being hunted. Something unseen, something that is not human is hunting them. And so it is a survival story from start to finish. So now I'm going to go through my heart of the story analysis where I go through the act structure, and forgive me the papers. I have lots of notes here. So the opening, we have Dutch, and Dutch is our protagonist. His team lands confident, they're ready, a lot of bravado, a lot of banter, very masculine story. Personally, I'm not afraid of heavy masculine stories. I've been doing sci-fi reading and writing and horror writing for a long time, so I'm used to that masculine archetype. This is a very masculine driven story. The inciting incident here is the team goes in to do their mission. When they get there, they find skin bodies of another unit. So a unit that went missing, well, they find them in their skin. They'd already been there. That's the inciting incident. We have a plot point. The first plot point that I see here is the rescue failed, okay? But it reveals the true purpose of the mission. So it's an interesting plot point because it sets you up like you're there to see another story unfold. They go in to complete the mission fails, but there's something else that's uncovered there where it's like, this is not what you told us we were going to do, and they've been used to seek another purpose. The midpoint, while this is going on, an invisible enemy kills one of the members, or unalives one of the members of the unit, and the balance of power shifts. Second plot point, Dutch realizes they're being hunted. So Dutch is the leader. First, he's in there to solve the mission. They have been betrayed. Something is wrong. So he's angry. Something is hunting them now. So now he has to protect his people. The climax, it's just Dutch. Now he's by himself. He has to survive. He sets traps. He's hand to hand, one-on-one with this thing, whatever it is. So he has to survive now, stripping down to just his instinct and his willpower. Resolution, survivor faces the creature, man against the alien until one of them walks away. Okay, so your protagonist arc here, our protagonist is Dutch. What Dutch wants, he wants to lead his men through a successful mission. That's all he wants. It's pretty basic. He's got one track, pretty one-dimensional focus. He accepts missions with his team, gets the mission succeeded, reports back, here's the goods, give me my money, and life is good. So he just wants to go in and succeed in his mission. Professional, pride, loyalty, that's it. What does he need? Well, he needs to understand that his survival and his people's survival just isn't about strategy and strength, because that's what they've been able to use. They've always been able to succeed because they are strategic, they are trained, they are good, they know each other, and they're strong. But this adaptation that they needed to make to adapt to now this thing, this alien that's chasing them, they didn't realize what was going on until really it was too late to do anything about it. And the transformation, Dutch's transformation from soldier to primal warrior, shedding all his tools, getting rid of all his tactics, and dipping down into his instinct to have that one-on-one conflict. Now the antagonist in this story is pretty simple. It's the predator. What I think, I had my memories as I was reading through this of when I saw the predator, when I was very young, when I saw the predator, Gen X here. And I remember how intense it was for me. It was probably one of the scariest things I've ever seen in going to the film because of the way they portrayed it. The performer that they had in the costume was so good, and it was invisible. They captured that for me in this script. It was unseen. It was clearly intelligent. It had its own rules. It was clear by the visuals that they evoked in the words. They did it really well in the script, that this thing was following some kind of ritual, some kind of agenda, some kind of rules. And then there was the conflict, the clash between human evolution and technology. We weren't matched. He had all the game, and it was clear the way that they showed it off in the script was really well. The tools were advanced, and those tools were pit against just pure human cunning, just the brain of the human. He had to think. Dutch had to think his way to victory. And then the mirror. I always look for the mirror, and for me, Dutch and the predator were mirrored off of each other. They were both hunters, and in the script, it explores what separates civilized warfare from pure survival, if that makes sense. There are some cues in there where the rules of the hunter were very defined, and the predator followed rules. There were things the predator would do and the things the predator would not do, and that was mirrored really well in the script. I really like that. Now, I always like to talk about the hero's journey when I go through and apply it. So what is the hero's journey here for our boy Dutch? The call to adventure, I think that the mission itself is the call to adventure. He goes into it. The refusal, it's not a refusal of the journey. He goes into the mission confident, but his confidence blinds him. So he and his team, his whole team, they are so confident in what they do that they don't see what's happening. So that is kind of a refusal. They think that they're in control, but they really are not in control. This is the wrong place at the wrong time. The trials, they've got lots of trials, the ambushes, the traps, the following, the stalking. This creature stalked them like a tiger in the tall grass, which was really beautifully done. And then there's the abyss, when Dutch is alone, stripped of everything. He is just man now. He doesn't have any gear. He just goes in and sets up traps, and it's just him and his bare muscles and the predator and nature, and that's it. So his return is the duel, where it's just he returns to his natural state as a raw warrior. So that's how I applied the hero's journey. I'm welcome to hear what you have to say about that. It's a fascinating conversation. The primary themes that I found in here, there's the predator versus prey, hunter versus prey, the illusion of control, brotherhood and loyalty and chaos. There was lots of never leave a man behind and all that good stuff. The fragility of human dominance, how we are an apex predator until an apex predator shows up, right? And we see this a lot in storytelling, the dragon, the great white shark. We as an apex predator do very well in our environment. How we do when we're placed in somebody else's environment, some other apex predator's environment, or when that apex predator is placed in our environment. And that's what this film is a study of. Key emotional beats for me are the heartbeat, the discovery of the mutilated bodies. The description in the script of these bodies were almost like in a butcher shop. If you go, I live in the San Francisco Bay Area. I go to Chinatown a lot, and you go to the shops and they have the ducks on display, so you can pick the one that you want so that you can have a nice dinner. That literally was how the bodies were displayed almost. And it's a shocking scene to read. It's a shocking scene to watch when you're in it, but you put yourself as a reader in the place of the character, which the actors have to do. Oh my goodness, the shock of that and the denial of what could possibly have happened. There's no automatic, oh my goodness, this must be an alien, we got to get the hell out of here. There's none of that. They just stay right there and keep on rolling. And your instinct might be, if I walked into a jungle and I saw that, I would probably look for the next bus ride home. And they didn't do that. When Blaine died, one of the main characters, and I probably should have went through all the names. I'm going to have to do better at that as I do these. It's only my 15th script. When Blaine died, the team's swagger kind of went off. That it was a moment when their cockiness decreased, and that's when we realized we're in trouble here. There were a couple of moments like that when Mac became obsessed and descended into fear. One by one, as this creature picked them off, many of them started to slip into their shadow characters, the parts of them that they hide behind in their machismo. And that was so well done. And then Dutch being covered in mud because he realized that the creature could not see him, and that the only power that he had that he could adapt to was the being invisible by cutting off the warmth of his body. That was really good. Symbolism, the jungle. This was my favorite part. I didn't realize this was my favorite part going and thinking about watching the film. And I did watch it again when I read this, because that happens when you read a script, like, oh, I gotta watch it again. The jungle as a living entity. When this creature is moving about in the jungle with its shields up with its camouflage gear on, and it melds into the jungle. The jungle now is alive as they're moving through it. That was so cool. And that it's both your ally, you could hide in it, but also it could reach out and just take you. And you have no idea where you're safe. The heat vision, all of the fact that you can be seen even when you're hiding, there's no place to hide. There's absolutely no place to hide. And then mud, as humanity being completely stripped of everything that we are to survive. That was really great for me. And then at its heart, the predator in and of itself for me is about illusion and superiority. That being superior is an illusion, right? And for these men that were on this mission, they're cocky, they're confident, they're strong, they believe that they are powerful, and it's just an illusion because it quickly collapses when nature takes over and this predator comes in, and now it's you against this thing that you have no weapons to take down. It was absolutely spectacular. Key craft lessons for me, I always love a good fusion, genre fusion story, and when it's done well, it's earned. And I think that this is a grounded military realism. It's very real from the military standpoint. I'm a vet, so I loved how they connected to that, got that action in there, made it real, and then brought in the sci-fi and brought in the horror. It was really, really well done. The buildup of the horror through the different perspective, showing us the vision through the eye of the monster. You don't get that very often, and this script did that really well. Using dialogue as texture, the macho banter to create the human side of the characters, showing the team before tearing them down. That is so good. And again, when you read scripts and then you go back and watch the films, you could see how that comes together. It creates such a beautiful vision for me, because you don't get to see all that. You take it for granted when you see the actors and you see the direction that takes place when you watch a film. Then you read the script, it's like, oh, this is how it all pulled together. That what they did here is that they created this beautiful image of this team that was cohesive, this team that they were psychically connected. They were such a together group. They loved each other. They were just, you really enjoyed being around these guys when they were doing their mission, and they tore them down one by one. It was beautifully done, and a lot of it done through the texture of the dialogue. And then escalation through subtraction, one by one. You take away people, you take away the allies, you take away the tools, you take away confidence. Just piece by piece, just chipping things away until you get to the absolute escalation, which was the climax. Then my personal reflection, reading this script reminded me how simplicity and escalation can create depth. I just walked through just slowly disarming the characters piece by piece, equipment, everything. And that you don't always have to explain everything. We don't know where this creature came from. We don't know what this creature is about. We don't even know what this creature wants. We just know that it's there. And by just having it there, and these guys literally just stumbled into it. If not for the mission, they would never have been there, and we would never have seen the creature. So a lot of times when they write stories, or when we as writers write stories, we feel the need to explain everything. You don't have to explain everything. Just give us the goods and give it to us well, and it's a good story. It's about showing people versus telling people sometimes, and I think that this script did a really great job. And for me as a writer, it reminded me to write with tension through loss of control, not through exposition. That loss of control domino show that they did here is just so well done. I really love this script, and I'll be honest with you, I didn't think I'd love it that much. I felt it would be just an action script, be cool, read it, things blow up, stuff happens. I love the movie, but this script was very well written. At its core, the heart and message of the story Predator is about survival, stripped of ego. It's a story about what's left when humanity meets something stronger than itself and must rediscover what it means to fight. And sometimes that fight is with your fists and your teeth and your nails, and no guns, no flamethrowers, no explosions, just that, and your brains and your wits and your desire to survive. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this was helpful. I welcome your comments. This was a good one, guys. I give this one a must read. Take time, look out there and find it. Predator. Again, this is the draft version. I couldn't find a final version of it that I could download. Sometimes it's hard to find scripts, but that's okay. It's all good. Thank you for hunting through the Predator with me. We're going to explore some more scripts as we delve through the rest of the challenge. I got a whole lot more scripts to do. I thank you for visiting. Once again, I appreciate you. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Like this video if you wouldn't mind, and I welcome your comments. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I thank you for coming by, and my friend, I will see you next time. Bye-bye now.